Gilbert Arenas makes history. The comeback king. To talk about how Gilbert Arenas got fired from a show that was already in agreement of his own show and rehired himself and got back his show. If that ain't some comeback stuff, I don't know what it is. Next, after these messages.
The streets talk about if it ain't making money, ain't nothing to talk about. Keep my mind on them stacks, cause that green give you cloud. If it's bread making, baby, I'ma always go that route. I put my work in the streets, rapping shot on these beats. A lazy man gon' stop, but a grinder always gon' eat. Everybody can't do what I do, that's why I'm crushing your crew. From Chi-Town, Memphis, Tennessee, and all through the Lou. I'm so fresh and so new, got a hot album too. I came out of nowhere and I'm taking all of these suckers' juice. I keep my promo on them poles, keep that on my nose. Understand, focus, man, with 1 million copies sold. Say my
name. King Kong ain't got shit on me.
Hey man, look, I'm here, so welcome to the Gingerbread Man Show. This is Steady Servin Sports ENT, an extension of Simply Ball Dropping Podcast with my main man, K-Sap. What's up, K-Sap? Shout out to the Full Court Trio. Shout out to the Players Club. Shout out to Get That Off Your Chest. This is where we give strong commentary and honest opinions on the hottest conversations that's going on in the world of ball and entertainment. Before we begin, hit the like button, subscribe to the channel, be a part of the channel. Turn on your notifications every time I drop a hot banger, and share this video if you would kindly, please, man, support what I'm doing, spread the message. Because like my main man, K-Sap said, if it ain't for you, it could be for somebody else. And also, you just helping a brother out. Now, today, we are talking about Gilbert Arenas, Agent Zero, and what may be one of the greatest comeback stories on YouTube sports media history. Let me tell you, everybody, right now, Gilbert Arenas is one of my absolute favorite people to watch on YouTube. I don't agree with every opinion he gives, but I appreciate his knowledge, personality, and willingness to say what he believes. Gilbert doesn't sound like everybody else. He doesn't sit behind a desk reading safe, you know what I mean, corporate talking points. When he talks basketball, he brings the perspective of somebody who actually played at the elite level. Gilbert is unpredictable, funny, and completely unfiltered. You never know whether he is about to give you a brilliant basketball breakdown or a wild comparison or a story that makes everybody on the panel fall out laughing. That is exactly why people watch him. Now, look at the thumbnail. On one side, here you go for y'all. On one side, you see the show being canceled. In the middle, you see Gilbert Arenas standing tall with the words, "The Comeback King." On the other side, you see the show returning with Josiah and Nick, Swaggy P Young. The thumbnail represents the fall, the fight, and the comeback. Gilbert helped build Gil's Arena into one of the biggest digital basketball programs in America. The show worked because it didn't feel like traditional television. It felt like a group of former players and basketball personalities sitting together and having the type of heated conversations normally happens away from the cameras. You had Gilbert Arenas at a centerpiece. That's right. We were watching with Josiah served as the co-host and executive producer who helped keep the show moving. Rashad McCants brought arguments that could set the entire room on fire. Brandon Jennings never seemed afraid to challenge anybody, and Kenyon Martin brought the toughness and perspective of a respected NBA veteran. Nick Young brought comedy, unpredictability, and classic Swaggy P energy. Lexie Brown, Hall of Famer, Sheryl Swoopes, they know their knowledge of women's basketball helped the show along. Together, that group created a show people discuss almost every day. But the business behind the show changed. Gilbert has sold part of the program while working with Underdog Fantasies. The partnership gave the show financial backing, production, resources, and a bigger platform. Gilbert later explained that the experience taught him how to operate a major sports show and understand the business behind the content creation. The Gilbert separated, but then Gilbert separated from the Underdog version of the program. Underdog eventually announced that it was shutting down its original content division and turning its attention towards fantasy sports and predictions of marketing and products. The decision ended the arena and affected the people who had remained with the company. But here's the important part. Arenas had already prepared himself for this moment. Gilbert understood the value of the name Gil's Arena. He understood that the audience was connected to him, his personality, and the community he helped create. He said that once his argument expired, the name of the show will return to him. Think about how powerful that is. Gilbert may have lost access to the original channel, but he didn't lose his identity. He didn't lose his audience. He didn't lose the name of the people associated with the basketball show. Most importantly, he didn't lose the knowledge he had gained while helping build the operation. That is why I call him the comeback king. This is what wasn't simply about getting another job. Gilbert put himself in position to control his own product. Instead of waiting for another network to decide whether he deserves a seat, he started building his own table. Now, Gil's Arena has a new partnership with Playmaker, a company that works with major sports programs and personalities. According to the announced plans, the revived show is expected to produce 5 episodes per week. Josiah is officially joining Gilbert for the relaunch, and Nick Young has publicly indicated that he wants to reunite with Agent Zero. They signed contracts right there on the stage of their first announced show. This is a major move. Gilbert went from watching the old arrangement fall apart to prepare a new show, keeping the name of his show and finding a new distribution partner. He turned what could have been the end of the platform into the beginning of the chapter. That is a lesson for everybody, independent content creators watching this story, like myself. I think it's phenomenal. Learn the business behind the creativity, understand your contracts, know who owns the name, the channel, the footage, and the audience information. And big companies can provide money and resources, but creators must protect the identity that worked to establish everything. Gilbert apparently entered his original partnership knowing that he needed help learning how to build a large media operation. After several years, he gained the knowledge and reached a point where he believed that he could move forward with a greater control. That is growth. That is understanding who you are. That is a man, a king that understands that his worth is in his own value of what he think of himself. However, we also have to talk about the cast members who may not be returning. The original chemistry cannot automatically be duplicated. Rashad McCants, Brandon Jennings, and Kenyon Martin, Lexie Brown, Sheryl Swoopes, all contributed something different. There were arguments, disagreements, and moments when the show went completely off the rails, but the unpredictability made it entertaining. Josiah is especially important because he understands Gilbert's personality and knows how to guide the conversation without taking away the chaos the fans enjoy. Josiah can introduce the topic, delivering the information, and then allowing Gilbert to do what Gilbert does. Swaggy P also makes sense as a returning panelist because of his natural chemistry with Gilbert. Nick Young is funny without looking like he is trying to be funny too hard, like myself. I know I'm funny as hell, y'all. Gilbert and Nick have a genuine relationship. They've been brothers since the Washington teammate, down there, the Bullets. That's what I call them. You know what I'm saying? They relationship, not as the Wizards, and their back and forth create viral moments from almost any subject because they know each other so well. But the new version must establish its own identity. It cannot spend every episode trying to recreate the past. Gilbert has the opportunity to build a tighter panel, introduce new voices, and create something that feels familiar without becoming a copy of the old program. The biggest question is whether Gilbert can bring the audience with him. I believe he can. Me personally, because I believe that Gilbert Arenas is one genuine cat. He always give credibility to like Shannon Sharp. He talks about how, if Shannon Sharp is on, he would completely cut his show off because Shannon Sharp started him in this business. And Gilbert Arenas, man, that is 1000% what it's supposed to be. And you're a real man, man. They will use the ninja word, but you're a real man. People did not tune in to Gil's Arena simply because the Underdog produced it. They watched because Gilbert Arenas was sitting in that chair. His personal YouTube channel already had hundreds of thousands of subscribers before it was reported to be a launch. And the previous show reportedly generated tens of millions of the viewers annually. That provided the power of personality-driven media. Gilbert Arenas understood and understands that the modern basketball fans do not want highlights of box scores. They want debates, stories, humor, locker room, knowledge, and personalities who aren't afraid to challenge popular opinions. That is why Gilbert is one of my favorite people to watch. He makes basketball conversations entertaining. And when I disagree with him, I still want to hear how he reacts to and how he came up to his conclusion. This is the mark of a powerful content creator. He goes and gets people while he's talking. So did Gilbert Arenas make the content creator history? I believe so. I believe that he's the boldest comeback king with the boldest comeback moves we have ever seen in an independent sports media channel or show. He watched one version of the show come to the end, retaining the name and carrying his identity, and found the path to relaunch it with more experience, control. And the thumbnail that you see says Gilbert makes history. The comeback king. He got it back. Now I want to hear from you. Let me know. Do you believe that the new Gilbert Arenas can become bigger than the original show? Or Josiah and Swaggy P, the right people to bring it back? Because I think that they are perfect for the show. And Swaggy P is like myself. I'm kind of like sporadic. Nephew is, nephew funny as hell, which the former cast, which I don't believe that he should bring back all of the ones who betrayed him. I don't think that he should ever bring back someone who can't be trusted, or someone that has a make-believe problem with him, that he has not done anything but brought them success along after their NBA careers. Gil, you did nothing wrong. And you did everything you were supposed to do. You made it happen. And I admire everything that you had done for those brothers, man. Hey, run, black man, run. Rise, rise, and rise. Hey, man, y'all hit the like button. Turn on your notifications every time I drop a hot banger. Like, share, and subscribe to the channel. Please give to the channel if you would like to give to the channel. And also, man, keep the main thing in the comments. Hey, like I said before, I thank you for what you do. I thank you for what you've done. And I thank you for what you will do. And as always, I leave as I came with another banger. Shout out to my brother. That's right. Hey, kill him, Gil. Get him. Get him, Gil. Continue to do your thing, black man. Much love, respect. In the panel, Josiah and Swaggy P, stick with the man because he know what he's doing. He got the plan.